Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. That was a little bit flat if I'm being honest, but hey, if you can hear it through my mic this time, that's a win. That's a win, girl. And welcome back. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Insufferable with me, your host, Lindsay. How? Episode 32 and the final episode of 2025. Let me set the scene for you really quickly if you're not watching on YouTube. And even if you are watching on YouTube, there's a little context about the setting here, okay? It is Christmas Eve, girl. Christmas Eve, okay? It is raining outside. You probably will not be able to hear that. Maybe I'll add a little rain sounds in the background to help set the mood for this pod. Okay, it's raining outside. I just took an everything shower and I'm moisturized head to toe. Okay, I washed my hair and I dried it with a blow dryer. And I'm moisturized. Okay, I've got no bra and granny panties. Okay, I've got fleece lined leggings and I'm wearing a robe. The setting is setting, okay? There's never been a better mood than what I just described, okay? It's the last episode of the season here in 2025, and I do want to start it out a little bit, I don't want to get too mushy and gushy, but the pod has been great. And if you are listening week to week, or if you're just tuning in when you can, you just don't know how much that means to me. And I'll never be able to articulate it because I'm not really good with words. I just want to thank you guys for being cool, watching the pod, sticking with me for my insufferable takes. And you know what? I called this episode, this show, Insufferable because I don't know. I feel like all of my takes are just like insufferable and they don't matter. And I'm sort of just like, I'm such a critic and I always feel like I'm talking shit, even though I kind of love everything and everyone. But at the same time, I hate everyone and everything. So how much more insufferable can you get as a person? You know what I mean? Just like commit to being a hater or a lover. Just commit, girl. I can't. I simply can't. So I don't know. I think there has been several episodes of this 2025 season and where I've gotten some feedback that I really was not expecting to get, and positive, by the way. Okay, not really a lot of haters around here yet, but yeah, some of the most important people in my life have given me feedback on the pod that is immeasurable. Like I'm making an impact on these people in such a way that I did not expect to. But it turns out everyone feels the same about most things, and my takes are not as insufferable as I thought, and we're resonating together. Me and my girls and my guys and my gays and my theys, like we're all resonating. And, this year I never got to do an episode about simulation theory, which is sort of, to me, it's kind of a joke. It's kind of not. Simulation theory is kind of the only way that I am able to cope with the world in which we're living in, which is very tragic. But there's something about thinking that you are having an individual experience, like a unique experience to you, and then finding out that not only is everyone experiencing the same thing, they also feel the same way about it. So that's kind of like the whole deal with simulation theory for me. But yeah, I think resonating with some of the people in my life about the pod, like my best friend Sarah will listen to my pod episodes when she's driving home from work, which is usually a pretty far drive for her. And then at the end of the drive, she will send me a voice note dissertation about the episode. And almost 100% of the time, I'm like, damn, I kind of just wish I could have you on the pod so we can have this conversation, in real time. That would be sick. And I will have her on the pod, and I will be having guests on the pod next year, and as soon as I possibly can. Okay, the only thing ever holding me back from anything is money, and that is how we do it around here. So, oh my God. You okay there, Frank? My dog is like coughing back there. Go lay down. I have the couch moved in a very awkward way in the house right now so I could have this cute little background again for, one more time through for this year. I did this background last week too, and it was tragic, dude. I watched that back. The footage is terrible. I'm so sorry, you guys. But whatever. I mean, it's kind of an audio-based show anyway. So if you are watching on YouTube, you're probably not watching on YouTube. Let's be real. Like, you could just look at the setting and then you could just listen from then on out. You don't have to I'm not putting visual aids up, even though I should be. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. I wanted to talk about this bullshit that happened to me last week. Just a funny little story to throw in for, this episode today. And if you follow me on Instagram, which you probably do, I said this on the stories. So I'm sorry if you have to listen to the story again. What are you going to do? Okay. Not everyone follows me on Instagram or even watches my stories. Okay. Frank, can you see my dog over here? Up. Can you even jump that high? Hold, please. Here. Okay, I guess Frank is going to sit in my lap for now. Unless you want to go up here. Would it even be an Insufferable episode if one of my animals didn't interrupt and or lay behind me here on the couch? No. So now we're complete now that my dog is here. Anyway, last week I was talking about the movie Ex Machina. Okay? It's a movie from 2014, and it stars Oscar Isaac and some other actors whom I cannot recall their name at this moment. But I was telling somebody about Ex Machina, right? Because the ending is very creepy, and I am going to talk about the ending right now. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the movie, it's kind of been out for a long time now, so you need to get around to watching that. But the film is about this man, fine ass man, by the way, Oscar Isaac could get it. He be building some robots, and they're hot women. Of course they are, because he's a fucking perv. But yeah, he be building robots or whatever. He invites this smart guy from his company to come and test the robot to see if, I guess when you test AI, like in order to pass, like if AI is passing, it means that the human does not really realize that they're talking to AI. Like the AI is so good that it's kind of having like a regular conversation with a regular human person. Okay, so that's the experiment, right? So he invites this guy over to his like weird fucking like mansion, like research facility thing to have conversations with this hot ass fucking AI robot. And, for a full week, over here at the mansion. So anyways, that's the plot of the story. Spoiler alert, at the end, she gets out, she escapes. She's been trying to escape the whole time, the AI. She'd be wanting to get out. She finally gets out. And she puts on some skin and an outfit, and now she is undetectable to the naked eye. You cannot tell she's AI. She has full skin. Okay, and she dips out of the facility and just walks into the city. Undetectable. So it's very scary notion that some of these people walking around here over, on Earth could just be AI and we wouldn't know. That's what's so scary about the fact that she just escaped, and she kills a guy too. She done kills Oscar Isaac in the movie, spoiler alert. Okay? Because her whole fucking like agenda is to escape this facility. She does not want to be locked up in there anymore. She does not want to be tested on. She wants to be a real girl. She wants to be living in the world. And she gets it. She's able to escape in the end. After she kills Oscar Isaac and locks down the other guy in the facility or whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to go through the whole movie. Here is the beef that I had with it. I was looking on where to watch it. When you be Googling where to watch something and it's like, oh, like this is streaming on Netflix, it's streaming on HBO, you can get it on Peacock, Hulu or whatever. So I go in to Google and I say, where can I watch? And all of the links say I can watch on HBO, and I have HBO. Okay. I go on HBO. It is not on there. Okay, then I see another link that says you can get it on Netflix. I go on there, it's not on there. I'm looking all over the internet to like figure out where I can watch this movie from 2014, by the way. Okay, I'm not looking to pay money for this movie. Okay, no offense to the cast and the crew. I do not have $3.99 to be renting a movie from 2014, and I am sorry about that. Okay, $4.99 should not be a huge deal to me. It is $4.99 or $3.99. It's just over my budget by $3.99. It's over the budget. I can't be paying for stuff like that. Okay, I don't have the luxury to be renting a film. And a film that old, I feel like, should be free on some streaming platform at some point, right? It was not. However, my friend Gavin saw my stories. He said they have it for free on YouTube. Okay? YouTube has movies that you can watch. Okay? Sometimes you can rent them on there, or sometimes you can, watch them for free. So he said it's on YouTube for free. I said, okay, hell yeah. Okay? I had already been looking for it for like 20, 30 minutes. I'm stoked. I go to YouTube. I flick it on. I'm watching the film. I have not seen it since 2014, mind you. I just really want to rewatch it because I was describing it to a friend of mine and I'm like, you know what? I low-key forget what happens to the two guys. I know that she escapes and she goes into the fucking city unbeknownst to anyone. And that's really scary to me. But I forgot what happens to the other two guys. Like, I low-key forget. Stuff about movies, like real integral parts of movies I'd be forgetting. So I go and I am watching the film. It's sort of fresh to me. Okay. I'm watching this film and they're muting out the cuss words in like the first couple of scenes. At one point, someone says fuck and it's muted. And then someone says fucking and they mute that. And I'm like, oh no, this is a censored version of the film. That's very annoying to me. Okay. But hey, I've been looking all for, I don't really have a choice at this point. This is the only place I can fucking watch it. If they bleep out the cuss words, what are you going to do? Okay, it's giving Jerry Springer, but we're in it now. We're watching the movie. Okay? Then the part of the movie comes around where the main character sees all the various bodies, vessels that this weird scientist guy has been making for all the different versions of this AI robot that he's making. The current one that they're testing, her name is Ava, and she is played by, I don't fucking remember her name, but she's amazing. Okay? They're testing Ava. But before Ava, there were dozens of other versions of this lady, or this AI. And he has all of their skin suits, basically, still stored in closets or whatever. Okay. And they're in the nude, right? They do not have clothes on, these AI. They are not clothed. They're just naked female bodies, waiting to have a program injected into their brain so that they can start functioning. That's kind of the whole vibe, okay? So they're just like lined up in a closet in the nude, okay? When this scene comes around, he's looking at these bodies. They're blurring the nudity on this YouTube version. Blurred. It's giving, what the fuck? Why are you... Okay, so you are bleeping the curse words and now you're blurring the nudity. This is really annoying to me. It's so annoying to me. I haven't watched a censored movie since I was like 5. So what the fuck? Still, I proceed watching the movie. Okay? Later on in the film, the main character kind of figures out, this is kind of like before or after the nudity situation. He like kind of figures out that they have skin on them, these robots. And one of the robots like kind of like peels off her skin on her eye and like exposes that she's a robot on the inside. And it kind of freaks him out. It kind of puts him into like he's been there for like 4 days at this point testing these fucking AIs, or this one AI. And he's like kind of in a psychosis himself where he's like, am I a fucking robot? Like, I don't know. So he goes into the fucking bathroom in this psychosis and he gets the fucking razor blade off of his like shaving razor and is about to cut open his skin to see if he's a robot underneath. Okay. And what does he do? He starts cutting his wrist, right? Because I think at some point, like one of the robot ladies like peels off like her arm and it's like robot underneath. So he cuts his wrist to then look inside himself to see if he is real or if he is a robot AI. Okay. But what do they do on this fucking version? When he cuts his wrist, they blur it. They blur his wrist. So us as an audience, we can't see if he is real or not. That's the point. That's the whole point of this scene, is him confirming with himself and us confirming with him that he is in fact a real man and not an AI robot. Okay, but the fact that they are blurring the blood and the cut in this scene is now the censorship is fucking with the integrity of the plot of the movie. Okay, he's cutting himself to see if he's real, and we cannot even see if he is real. Okay, I knew he was real because I've seen the movie before, but it's like, if that was your first time seeing the movie, how fucked up is that? You cannot be censoring movies. Don't you understand that everything in a movie is completely there for a reason, which actually is not always the case, and we are going to get into that in a second. But It really pissed me off. And then, at the end, she escapes and she gets a hold of this giant knife. I think, I don't remember how she gets this big knife. Ava, the AI robot. And she's ticked at this point. And she's trying to escape the facility. And she has escaped the room. And now her and Oscar Isaac are in the hallway, kind of like it's like a head-to-head combat now. He's like, go back in your room. And she's like, fuck you. I'm not going back in the room. I'm fucking escaping, bitch. By the way, you can't hold me in here anymore. She's like so pissed. And she has this knife. I don't know how she gets it. I don't remember. Okay, see how easily I forget stuff? I do not remember. But what does she do? She stabs him. One of the other robots stabs him in the back. Okay? And then that's how she gets the knife, because the other robot had the knife or whatever. And then Ava stabs him in the front. Just totally right in the gut. Okay, and it does kill him. What do? They blur out the arm, hand, knife, and stab wound. They blur out all the blood in the movie. All the blood, all the violence, all the nudity, all the profanities. The movie's rated R. It's rated R. Why would you then censor the movie? It really pissed me off. So, and you know what? And this is a message for YouTube. Do not be putting movies up for free on your platform if you're going to ruin them with censorship, bro. I'm not dying to see titties or anything, but I mean, holy shit. How fucking annoying is that? So all that to say, Ex Machina is still a very good film, and I do recommend you watch it if you get the chance. But yeah, just the whole thought behind like putting some imagery in film. Like, imagine how long it takes to set up a shot and how much like time you're taking from like the actual like minutes and seconds of the movie to show something on film where you set up the shot and spent $1 million to get that shot or whatever. It usually means a lot to the plot. So don't fucking blur it out is like my whole fucking point. But sometimes they be showing shit that does not add to the plot at all, and it's so shocking. And it reminded me, it reminded me of The Hunting Wives. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It is tragic. The show is tragic, but it was a fun watch. I'll say that. But at one point, there's a brother of like one of the main characters. She has a brother who's like white trash and lives in the trailer park up the road. Okay. And the sister and all the other main characters, they're like super rich Republicans or whatever. And they're good. They're hunting wives. They all love guns and stuff, but low key, they're all fucking each other and they're all a little bit gay. Okay. That's how it always goes with Republicans. But anyway, at one point in the movie, one of the characters goes to the trailer park to talk to the brother, okay? She knocks on this guy's door, and he opens the front door, and he is full dick out. Full dick and balls, not a shred of underwear or bottoms on this man at all. And the dick is low-key huge. It's low-key like 9 inches soft. Okay? Impressive, I must say. And as I'm seeing this, when I'm watching the show, I'm like, oh my God. And he opens the door like in such a crazy manner. Because he's like weird and like a drunk or something. Like there's something super like white trash about him. I can't remember. But he flips open the door and his dick is straight up flopping around. You can hear it. You know, like when guys get out of the shower and they shake their dick so it's like slapping around on their legs and their thighs and stuff? That's what was happening in this scene. Because he was moving erratically. And his dick was so large and heavy, it seemed, by the looks of it. And it's flopping around. And this scene that I'm referring to right now, it is like no more than 5 to 7 seconds, I would say. But it's the most memorable thing from the show. So when I see that, I see him open the door with his fucking dick out. And I think also he's fine as hell. If I remember correctly, he's hot. But this woman who had gone to his house, I'm like, oh, what's going to happen right now? And she's meeting the brother for the first time. And he opens the door naked. She sees that hog. And they're about to hook up. They're about to hook up right now. That's going to be crazy because she's fucking his sister low-key. But she meets her brother. And then now she's going to fuck her girl's brother. You know what I mean? This is going to be crazy. They do not hook up at all. As soon as she gets into the house, he's kind of paranoid or whatever. He's like, get inside, get inside, get inside. Why you would go inside to a man's house that you don't know who opened the door with his fucking dick flopping around? I don't fucking know. It's giving red flag to me. But he walks in, she walks in the house and he goes and puts a robe on. No hooking up happens. And that begs the question, why the fuck did we see his dick in that manner? Why the fuck? Imagine how many takes. Imagine how many takes they did of him answering the door and rushing her inside out of paranoia or whatever, and his fucking dick is out. This actor, he's over there waiting behind the door with his dick out on set, waiting for someone to yell action so he can erratically rip open the door, and we can all, the cast, the crew, and the audience all gets to see his dick flopping around. For no reason at all. It adds nothing to the plot whatsoever. It's a detail about his, minor character in the show, which, spoiler alert, he ends up dying at the end. So it's not even like the mystery of his giant dick is going to come back around in the storytelling in season 2, if there is a season 2. Like, it's quite literally no fucking reason at all why we would have to see that. Did I like it? Yes. Yes, I did. But as an avid film goer, as, I have a lot of love and appreciation for the writing of stuff and storytelling. And, I know what it takes to get a shot to establish integral parts of the plot. I know how much it costs, and I know how hard it is, and I know how many people it takes. Okay? Why the fuck did we have to see that giant dick on that man? I'll never know. And if you are a writer on The Hunting Wives season 1, chime the fuck in. Chime the fuck in. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there was an underlying storyline that I was just oblivious to. I don't know. It's not really like me. I really love to break stuff down and really get to the core of the story. But yeah, it was something. And you know what? I'm about to look up the actor right now who plays him, because I would also like to know, is that your dick, sir? Or is that a fake dick? Because there's a fake dick in, what's the fucking Game of Thrones? House of the Dragon. Okay, this is not a spoiler. I'll tell you. House of the Dragon, there's a scene where they go into the brothel. There's a lot of brothel stuff going on in House of the Dragon. Okay? They're always going down there to fuck each other, the niece and the uncle They're always fucking making out and stuff. They can't really do that in front of everyone, in the, King's Landing or whatever. So they be going down with the peasants and the commoners and going to their brothels and fucking in there. Okay. So there's a lot of brothel scenes in the show, and, any kind of like Game of Thrones type, period piece. We're getting a lot of brothel action. It's just kind of part of the times, the medieval times of it all. Lots of fucking. Okay. The chlamydia was probably running rampant around there. But anyway, there's a scene where they go into this brothel. They're looking for someone. I forget who they're looking for. And they open the curtains to one of these rooms, and you will be shocked to see a extra, by the way, not a lead in the show. Absolutely no, does not add or subtract anything from the plot here. She's just an extra, is straight up sucking a whole dick on the screen in like the bottom corner. Okay, there's a bunch of people around making out, whatever the fuck. There is a bitch on the bottom right or the bottom left, I can't remember, sucking a giant hog on the fucking screen, dude. And as a viewer, you'd be seeing some crazy stuff on HBO, okay? They are kind of known for pushing the boundaries of, the nudity and the sex of it all on HBO. That is not news, to any of us. But the way in which they show this is so shocking to me. Of course I had to pause it and rewind it. Of course I did. Several times. I even popped it on the stories back in the day when it was on. I was on the Instagram story saying, did you guys see this bitch sucking a whole ass dick on House of the Dragon? What the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck? And it's literally from the side, too. It's a full side. And the dick is like 12 inches, easily. Easily 12-inch silicone dick, fully fake dick. You're not fooling anybody. This is a fake dick. And I don't even think you can see the body that it's attached to in this specific shot. You just see her going to town on this fucking dick. And it's so big, she's barely getting like the tip of it in her mouth. I'm so serious when I tell you, what the fuck did that add to the story? Please tell me. Please tell me what the please tell me why this extra agreed to do this, first of all. If you are a room full of extras in the fucking show and they're like, oh, we need someone to be over here sucking this silicone dick, necking it, absolutely necking this dick in this shot. You don't even have fucking speaking lines in the show. I guess if you're an actor, then you would just want like, hey, I didn't have a speaking sign, but I know you fucking saw me. I had no lines, but I know you fucking remember me from that scene. I was sucking that dick. Yeah, girl, I do remember that. Yeah, I do. And you know what? Weird flex, but okay. I wouldn't do it. And, nothing against sucking a dick, you know what I'm saying? But am I going to do it as an extra who's probably getting paid $250 for a 12-hour day? No. And how many takes did they have to do? I want to know. What the fuck? Honestly, being an extra in a brothel scene is crazy anyway. You know what I mean? They're like reset, and then you're there, you got your tits out, and you have some like, skimpy little like robe on that's like tattered or whatever because it's the fucking medieval times. And no, Bron, don't get up there. That's a whole ass candle, bro. Sorry. Yeah, you got your titties out. You probably got your puss out too. Full bush. You probably got a merkin on. Makeup probably put a merkin on your fucking puss. And you're over here and they're like resetting the cameras or whatever. And now they're like, okay, action. And now you have to act like you are like, you know, making out with some fucking hairy ass, dirty man, whatever the fuck. And then you got to reset again, do it again. And reset again, do it again. And it's like an orgy situation going on. Like that is... Props to the extras who do scenes like that, because that's awkward as fuck, dude. And I don't know. I wonder if there's an intimacy coordinator for groups of people doing orgy type shits in movies and TV. You know what I mean? I want to interview a damn intimacy coordinator who works on HBO shows. You think that actor who was sucking the silicone dick had an intimacy coordinator? Probably should. She probably should. I mean, it's a pretty intimate act. I'm just saying. So, if it doesn't add to the story... Hold on. I do still want to look up that guy with the giant dick. If it doesn't add to the story, why are we showing it? You know? It's just the shock factor at that point. Like... You really got me fucked up with that. Okay, Michael Aaron Milligan is the man, I think, who plays the brother with the huge dick. And there's confirmation. You heard it here first. He is pretty fine. I don't know if you guys can see this on my computer here. He's hot. He's hot. And if that's his real dick in the show, then fucking props to him, dude. Because, yeah, bro, that dick shot is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, and if that alone makes you tune into The Hunting Wives, please do so, because it's absolutely worth it, to be honest. Does not add to the story, but it is worth it. Okay, moving on. Since it is the old year-end recap right now, I wanted to talk about ins and outs. Ins and outs. Instead of, resolutions, which is sort of a classic thing to do on, New Year's, end of year recap, want to do resolutions and stuff. But I'll talk about ins and outs. Okay. And I guess we'll do one and one. One in, one out. And I have quite a insufferable list here. So maybe you could take some of these for yourself, apply them to your own life. And, if you so wish, I'd love to hear your in and outs in the comments below. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple podcasts, give me a little insight into your ins and outs. Because I'd love to hear. So starting with my first outs, doom scrolling. No more doom scrolling, guys. No more cussing, you guys. What does he say? It's inappropriate and violent. If you say a cuss word, you're like going to jail. Okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't have to do the whole thing, but I did. Doom scrolling is out. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry, guys. It's out, dude. I can't be doom scrolling anymore. Okay? When the algorithm has truly niched down on the stuff that you really do want to see, it's great, but it's dangerous. We'd be getting really caught up in the doom scroll of it all. But don't let the algorithm run your life. And that's on period. No more doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is out. Ins, cuticle oil. I think we are all collectively forgetting to put cuticle oil on every day. And what a dream it would be if we remembered. Okay, so cuticle oil is in. And by cuticle oil, I mean any fucking oil that you got laying around, girl. Any fucking oil. Yeah, but you coconut oil. I like to use jojoba oil. You know, even castor oil, like whatever oil you got. Girl, if you got to put the spray Pam on your hands, that's fine too. Just moisturize your damn cuticles, dude. Okay, I think there's too many hangnails in this world that could be eradicated by, consistently using cuticle oil. So, cuticle oil is in. Something that's out. Alarm clocks. If you can curate your life in a way where you do not need an alarm clock, you will have made it. I think no alarm clocks is the dream. And some days I do not use alarm clocks, right? Like, I don't be having a job, and that's pretty tragic. But I be going to the gym in the morning. But if Sierra texts me and she's talking about gym at 11:45 noon, I do not be setting an alarm. Okay, I'm not really gonna sleep past 8 anyway. You know what I mean? Sleeping in for me is like 9. I will not be sleeping until 10 or 11 or whatever. So if I don't have to be anywhere until noon, I do not be setting an alarm. In those days, I be thriving. Okay, setting an alarm is just spiking your nervous system like right at the beginning of the day. And if you work at a job where you have to be there at 5 a.m. or whatever, then obviously you have to have an alarm clock. That's obvious, and I totally understand that. And I'm not shading you for that. But outs for me, at least right now, alarm clocks. Okay, that's an out. Another in, a gym schedule and or regimen. Okay, having your gym days and your rest days are very important. Okay, and I wish that for everyone. And if it's not the gym and it's just a walk around the block, or like going to the nature center and walking around, or like maybe you actually live in nature and you don't live in the fucking metropolitan, fucking hellscape like I do, where you're begging to see a tree every now and again, that's fine too. But you know that you're going to be getting your exercise and moving your body on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, rest on Thursday, Friday, rest on Sunday, Saturday or Sunday. You know what I mean? Have your schedule and stick to it, because once you have it, it's like I don't know, it's like your project. It's like your baby. It's like you have to work on it, And then it becomes like your mental, and everything about it is just, it's beautiful. I recommend having a gym schedule, okay? Or workout schedule, body movement. Whatever you got to do, girl. Just move your body. Okay, so as soon as I said scarcity mindset, of course, my phone stopped recording. Talk about you're out of phone storage. Okay, iPhone, that's giving scarcity mindset. So please stop. Get the fuck off my back with that shit. And don't piss me off. It did it again. I had to go to my recently deleted and delete those. Like, who knows if I can even fucking I am going to get the rest of this video done. Okay? And don't fucking piss me off. Okay, sorry, I got a little off track there. Okay, so scarcity mindset, it's out. It's out, okay? We're not doing that anymore. We're living in abundance. Okay. Next on the ins. Ins, rest days outside of the gym. No more gymming on your rest days. If you're that type of girl, you're that type of girl. But I fear I am not that type of girl. And when I want to rest, I do not want to be at the gym, just walking on the treadmill, whatever. I'd rather fucking walk around the neighborhood with my dog at that point. Okay? Rest days, I'm out of the gym. Get me out. Do not bring me there. Okay? Rest days out of the gym. Those are ins. Okay. Outs. Feeling bad for any reason. Now, for any reason, I guess like a little bit, I don't know. I just be feeling bad all the time. every time I set a boundary for myself or need to distance myself from something or need to like, crack down and be like, I'm not doing this thing. I need everyone to stop using me in various different ways or whatever. I be feeling bad. I don't want to do that anymore. Okay. If I have to set a damn boundary, I got to set a damn boundary. Okay. I'm not going to fucking cry about it anymore. Okay. And that's on period. Okay. Ends. Baggy gym outfits. I feel like every time you see a baddie in the gym, she be wearing a skimpy little outfit. And while that is cute and fine and dandy and I support it, I'm on my baggy gym outfit game, okay? I need to be swimming in my clothes at the gym, and that's just what I'm into right now, okay? And that's what I'm into for 2026. So if you want to join me in baggy gym outfit, come on, girl, let's do it. Okay. Outs. Participating in arguments. I will not be doing that anymore. I will not be arguing with anyone about anything, especially if I can see clearly that the person whom I am arguing with is not going to see my point of view because they are not smart enough to do so, or they are not willing to be open-minded about the situation. I can't be arguing with people anymore. I just do not have it in me, and I'm just not interested in getting involved in conversations like that. So those are out. In cellulite. Cellulite is in, and I'm not going to get too far into it because I already had a whole episode about it last week, and I do really wish that you would listen to that episode because cellulite is it, and she is the it girl of, any time, but in 2026, cellulite is the it girl. So if you got it, flaunt it. If you don't, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if you don't have it or not. Don't be talking shit about people who do because it's in, girl. It's just in. Okay, out. Gadgets. Gadgets for the home and kitchen, mostly kitchen, that are like single use gadgets. And I don't mean like you just use it one time. I mean, you can only use it to do one thing. You know what I mean? Some things are single use things, like a can opener. A can opener is like, what else are you going to fucking do with it? You know what I mean? Maybe it's got like a bottle opener on it or something like that. That's okay. But I do not need people, there's too many gadgets for kitchens that just do one thing. Okay? We need to get more gadgets that do a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like a blender, you can make soup in it. You can make a smoothie in it. You can crush almonds in it or whatever. If you're going to be buying a gadget for the home, it better be multi-use or I'm going to be pissed off. Okay? Something that's in. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. That's an age-old saying, but I want you to think about that a little longer, a little bit, Don't forget that, because it is in fact true. As cheesy as it sounds, it is in fact very true. So don't get me fucked up. If you want to do it, you could totally do it. There's like really nothing holding you back. Mostly people are held back by money, i.e. me. Everything I ever want to do costs money, and that sucks, but what are you going to do? Okay. And that brings me to and outs, and this does not involve me, but it's something I think about frequently, especially going to the gym a lot. Men need to stop wearing joggers. I'm sorry, but they're out. They're on the out list. And I don't know what it is about you guys wearing joggers at the fucking gym where it looks like you are wearing clothes that you have outgrown yourself in. You know, when you see a kid and like a kid, like a 5-year-old, and they have a pair of like pajama pants that they have clearly grown out of, but they continue wearing them because like kids be getting attached to like woobies and stuff, and it's their favorite pair of pants and they just like can't. and it's obviously too small for them. That's how these joggers be looking on you guys at the gym. Okay. And I'm there to look. I am there to, have a look. And when I see you and you're fine, and you got a cute little shirt on, maybe some cut off sleeves, maybe a cool hat or a beanie or whatever. And then I get down to the bottom and you're wearing fucking joggers. And they're like high water joggers that are like skin tight around your ankles. Bro, it looks like you are wearing clothes that are too small for you. And I don't know who needs to fucking hear this, but you guys do not need to be shaped like this, a V at the bottom, okay? It's giving your skipping leg day. A very strong-legged man wouldn't even be able to wear a pair of joggers. Okay, joggers are out, and I'm sorry, but that is a PSA, and if you do not heed it, you are going to not be breaking next to the gym, I'll tell you that. I don't care how fucking big your biceps are. If you're wearing joggers, I'm pissed. Okay? Frank, Braun, do not rub on this. Okay, joggers are out. Braun! Absolutely no boundaries at all. Okay, joggers are out. Making do with what you have. That is kind of a an extension of the stop buying gadgets that just do one thing. Okay, when you make do with what you have, it's actually a beautiful thing, by the way. Mending your clothes when they get ripped. Fixing things instead of buying new ones. Replacing parts in an object to have it last longer. I have this like round mirror, and it has like a light around it. I've had it since like 2004 or something. My grandma got it for me in 2004. Okay, that's a long fucking time ago. And at one point, the circle light around it went out, and my mom and I busted that bitch open. We unscrewed it and we replaced the fucking bulb on the inside, and I still have it. It still fucking works. There's something to be said about mending your shit, and in turn you're consuming less. And we do not need to be consuming as much as we fucking are. Okay? Don't piss me off with that. And I like shopping. I ain't got no money to shop, but I do be liking shopping. But be mindful about what you're buying, dude. For God's sakes. Do with what you have. Making do with what you have. That's good. Okay. Outs. Resting bitch face. I do not need to be intimidating to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I always fear that someone is about to murder me. So I do want to be looking like, somewhat mean, so people do not approach me. I don't necessarily want to be approachable, but I think at this point in my life, I kind of do want to be approachable. I don't really be liking talking to strangers like that, but I'm just saying there's something to be said about being able to, be approachable in the face. You know what I'm saying? So resting bitch faces out. Okay. And sometimes I don't be doing it on purpose. And a lot of people don't do it on purpose. Okay. Women are just like that. We have to be stern. We have to be aware. We have to be on fucking edge every time we're out in the goddamn fucking world. And I'm sick of that shit. So if I ex-nay the old resting bitch face and it gets me murdered later, then you guys can go ahead and say, hey, that didn't work. Keep the resting bitch face going. Okay. Cause I don't know, I'll be the first one to try it, I guess. Ends. Showing out in a spiritual way rather than an aesthetic way. You do not have to look at, at 10 every time people see you. I know firsthand that I want to be wearing a cute outfit every time I go out. I mean, you never know who you're going to see. And I just really love clothes and outfits. So naturally, sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. excuse me. Naturally, I do want to be wearing a pretty cute outfit every time I go out. And don't get on my shit if you're like, it doesn't fucking matter what you wear. You know, sometimes you want to look good. But if you exude the energy and spirituality that you, naturally have if you're a bad bitch, that can go a long way. Okay. And the right people will be attracted to you when you do that. You know, you can attract the wrong people by looking a certain way, right? Which is, unfair and shouldn't be going on that way, but that be happening. So at the end of the day, you want to attract the people that you want in your life. And the people that you want in your life and to be valuable people in your life, you're going to attract them via energies and spirituality. So do that. And that's an in. That's an in. Here's another out. Expensive skincare or makeup. Now, I'm not a makeup girly. I wear blush and lip stain. Sometimes I be wearing eyebrow gel. That is it for me. I'm maxed out with those 3 products. 2016 really got to everyone's head with the whole makeup thing. Okay. You do not need to be contouring every single day. If that's what you like to do, then this conversation does not apply to you. If that's just something that you like to do. But in the essence of under consuming or just consuming less. Okay. And I think it's basically been proven that products that are expensive are just the same fucking formula as the cheap drugstore ones. And so why the fuck are we? It's just a status symbol. At some point, it's just a status symbol. Okay. And we do not need that. Okay. This year, I have gone down to the bare fucking minimum of skincare. And honestly, my skin's never looked better. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I am aging, but what are you gonna do? That's just how time works. Okay. But I have been bar soap on my body. Okay. I've been Head and Shoulders on my head. And then also like Tresemme, because you can't be using Head and Shoulders every day, but your girl's got a little dry scalp. So I had to get something in there. Okay. Those you could all get at the fucking Walmart, girl, at the damn Target. Okay. Face wash. I've been getting whatever I see. I've been using the damn Trader Joe's tea tree oil face wash lately. It's nice. It didn't fuck me up. Everything's been great. Okay. I cannot advocate more for bar soap and regular ass shampoo, dude. I cannot be using the ordinary serums and creams and overnight this and retinol that. If you could get a nice retinol prescribed to you from your dermatologist or whatever, a nice tretinoin, and you use that, and that's fine. That's fine if you want to get a little anti-aging situation. Those aren't cheap, but that's okay. But you do not be needing a fucking 9-step routine anymore. That's just not how God intended our skin to be taken care of. And I'm not saying I'm religious or nothing. I'm just saying it's just unnatural. And you're over consuming at that point. So if I could give you any advice, I would be bar soap. Just bar soap it, girl. It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing. And not Dove either. Okay, Dove is a beauty bar. You know what I'm saying? They legally can't call it soap because it's not soap. Okay, I be getting the bar soap, the oatmeal lather fucking soap over there at the Trader Joe's. Okay, it's like $2.99 for a bar. It lasts me a long ass time. Get yourself an African net sponge, lather that shit up, and wash yourself that way. Okay, you do not need a body wash that smells like fucking cocoa and vanilla. Okay, you can get some body lotion for that. Okay, we do not need scented body wash. I mean, I do have a lavender body bar soap, but you know what I mean? We don't need it to have perfume in it is what I mean. Okay. So skincare routines, minimize your skincare routine, y'all. I think that you will benefit from that, a lot and save a lot of money. Okay. Ends. Where are we at? Family dinners. If you love your family, family dinners are a great thing to have, every Sunday night, Sunday family dinner, like the Jersey Shore. It's very nice to get together with the fam, and cook together. It's very nice. And I'm talking family dinner at the house. I'm not saying like, let's go to fucking Chili's every Sunday, which my family do be going to Chili's a lot. But that's not what I'm saying in this moment. I'm saying just family dinners in general, just getting together. That's enough. Okay. Outs. And this is my last out. Beauty standards. They're out. Beauty standards, not it. Not it. You don't need them. And I'm not sorry either. Nobody benefits from the beauty standard. Absolutely nobody benefits from the beauty standard. The less beauty standard you have in society as a collective, in this world that we live in, the less beauty standard we have, the more opportunities you get to see the beauty in everyone. Everyone's beautiful in their own way. And as cliche as that sounds, it's fucking true. Okay? No beauty standards ever again. Okay? 2025 is the cutoff. And that's it. Everyone is beautiful in their own way. And that is how we are moving forward. Okay? Beauty standards are out. And my last in. Well, I have two last ins. In whimsy. Whimsy is in, girl. I don't know how to describe the joy I get from whimsy. And you should get joy from it too. It's so, baddies are oversaturated. It's oversaturated to be a baddie. And if you were birthed as a baddie, then that's your thing. Then this does not apply to you. If you bad, that's fine. Okay. But being a baddie, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of money. And you could just be a whimsy cutie patootie at the end of the day and fucking live your life with ease. Okay. It's the whole bad bitch versus cutie patootie of it all. Okay. If you are just whimsy, life will get a lot easier. And I know that for a fact. And that's on period. Whimsy is in. And my last in is knowing that it'll all work out in the end. As cliche as that sounds, I'm on my cliches today, you guys. I'm on my cliches. If you can believe it, you can achieve it. Whatever, all these other ones that I said, as cliche as that sounds, whatever, I don't care. I do not care how cliche it fucking sounds. Sometimes the answer is right in front of you. Sometimes the easiest explanation is the correct one. Okay? And it will all work out in the end. And that's on period. It always has. It always has. You don't know how it will work out, but it's going to work out whether you are scared about it or not. So to ease our collective anxiety, everything's going to work out. We might have to fight a little bit, we might have to combat some stuff. We might have to, stand up for ourselves in the process. And, there's nothing wrong with trying to make sure it's going to be okay. But I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. And as long as we have each other and we have each other's back, and we got community, then everything's going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. And that is on period. And that's my last down. And that's about it. How long have we been recording here? Oh wow, over an hour. But most of that was me starting and restarting my camera because it kept going out. So I'd like to leave you with this for 2025. for the year-end recap of the first, I don't know, I don't want to say the first year of Insufferable because we started in May, so it hasn't been a full year. But this is the year-end recap, and I'd like to say to you, in my personal opinion and my belief structure, that the meaning of life is sharing your gift. Everybody has a gift. Everybody does. And it's important that you identify your gift and share it with the world. You could be an artist. You could be an actor. You could be a caregiver. You could be strong physically. You could be a philosopher, a doctor, a comedian. It really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter what your gift is, as long as you are living in your gift and sharing it with the world. And that might sound cliche, but if you got the chance to speak to God and you asked him, what is the meaning of life? I fear that's what he would say. He or she. They would say, I gave you the gift of gab. Maybe you're really good at talking. Maybe you're really good at connecting with people spiritually. Maybe you're a really good healer. Maybe you're really good at caring for other people. Everyone has something to add to this life. And you have to be serious and intentional about it, because we have such a small amount of time here on this earth, on this planet. If you don't seize the moment and share your gift with people, you're going to be ticked in the afterlife. You know? That's how you leave your mark. And you don't have to leave your mark to every single fucking person who's ever existed, by the way. You know? Leaving a legacy is kind of mid, to be honest. It's not mid. I mean, if you're an artist and you want to leave your art, like, that's something that's, you know, going to live much longer than you. You know, art ends up in museums and people talk about it for decades and years and years and millions of years later. And you know what I mean? Like, there's art on the inside of caves that we still be talking about. And whoever made those shared their gift of drawing on the fucking wall with whatever they used to draw it on the wall, you know? But you could make a difference in 1 to 3 people's lives while you're here on this planet. And that would be you fulfilling the meaning of life. And I'm not God, and I don't think I am, okay? But I am almost certain that I have cracked the code of the meaning of life. That is what it is all about. So whatever it is that you have inside of you, share it with everyone you possibly can. And don't stop until you die. Don't stop. You're going to make an impact that will be everlasting in the ether, you know? And that's why you put good energy into the world. That's why what you put out, you get back. So don't be a fucking dick. Okay? Be good. Be kind. Be giving. Be selfless. You know, and give your gift. And that, folks, is the meaning of life. And that's a good message to leave you off on fucking Christmas Eve, girl. You guys won't be seeing this until the 29th. But today is Christmas Eve. And I'm just in my feels. I am grateful. I am... I'm living in abundance right now. And that's on period. I'm living in abundance, and you're all inside my phone. You're all like on the internet, and you are abundantly supporting me every day. So thank you for the support and for tuning in. And I hope to see you back here next Monday in 2026. Until then, happy holidays and happy New Year. Bye.